The views and opinions expressed on the following program are not necessarily those of the staff and management of Salem Media of Hawaii.
Aloha and welcome to Be Fit for Health. This is Bianca, your host. I just wanted to say thank you for joining me today. I hope your day is going well and your evening goes even better. Today, I just wanted to say thank you to the Honolulu Club, who is the sponsor for today's show. They are a networking social athletic club, the only one in town. They have amenities that basically would fulfill anybody's needs. They're located at 932 Ward Avenue on the 7th floor. Also, I wanted to go over some topics. You know me, I like to educate and inform and empower everybody when it comes to your well-being and your immune system. With everything that's going on out there, gosh, I know we're overwhelmed and I feel like sometimes we have the defeated feeling, but I think, if we try to look at things from a positive perspective, look, we get a chance to stay at home with our families. We get to bond, catch up, get some rest, maybe go through projects that we've been postponing. And, this is a time for us to kind of gather our thoughts and our, wants and needs and see what we want to do for our current future. So stay in there, hang in there. So today's topic that I picked was the supplement zinc, or the mineral that we need in our body. And zinc is more powerful than you would know. I didn't realize this either, but it does a lot of things for us. So let me get with that. So what does zinc do for our body? Well, if you think about minerals, they are partnered up with vitamins, and they are really necessary. So if you think about what zinc does for our body, and we always hear about this in the media, zinc with vitamin C, vitamin D, vitamin A, zinc basically regulates your immune system. It also helps with cancerous issues, hormonal production, reduces inflammation, brain function, DNA repair, involves in cell division. That's pretty massive. So zinc is not only a mineral that we need in our body, but it has a lot of functions in our system. So we really need to make sure that we're not deficient. And the deficiencies come from products like we take in, medications. It could also be from toxins. It could also be from being a vegetarian. I mean, there's nothing wrong with being a vegetarian, but you don't get a certain amount of products when you go vegetarian, like even B12. So being deficient is not a good thing with zinc. And some of the things that you do get when you are deficient is hair loss, digestive issues, fatigue, infertility, hormonal issues, poor concentration. It affects your brain. It affects your sleep. You can get insomnia. So zinc has got a lot of different things going on. So you really need to make sure that you're not deficient. There are tests out there that you can do, like blood work. There are also other tests that are out there that you can drink a certain type of a product to see if it tastes metal-like or not metal-like. And the strong taste of metal indicates that you have zinc in your body, and the lesser of the two is that you don't have enough. And children usually that don't have enough zinc also have anger issues, restlessness. They are finding all these types of results from the deficiency of zinc. So some of the questions that I got before coming on the show, what does zinc do for helping us with the cold? Well, if it helps boost your immune system, this is for you, Michael. Michael Eggman, I got you. This is for, it does help with your immune system. So therefore, if it helps with strengthening your immune system, it's going to help you with any type of cold that you may have. So definitely up your zinc, definitely up your vitamin C's, your D's, your A's, all the ones that doctors recommend, just because we know that it's necessary. So the next thing that I did the research on is what types of foods can you eat that will help give you that product is beef or lamb, oysters. I'm not a big fan, but some people are. Sardines. Oh yeah. Who likes sardines, right? Herring, pumpkin seed, sesame seed, and also the supplement. You can take the pill. And the average dose usually that doctors recommend if you're deficient is about 50 milligrams. But if you're not deficient and you're above, average, like 30 milligrams a day is suffice. So, zinc is a good product to have in your cupboard just in case you are starting to feel like you're coming down with something, or you're feeling that lack of energy. It can cause fatigue if you don't have enough in your body. So it's a trace mineral and it's necessary. So if anything, that should give you some tidbit as to what to do with your health and your immune system and how to complete your supplementation throughout your day. So if you're like me, I take 15, 20 pills a day. And there are various of different things, some herbal, some, things like oregano oil, or I'll take some of my USANA products that are great when it comes to nutritional supplement. And, your complex B12, things like that. Those will keep you in check, just in case if your diet isn't there for you. Okay? So I'm going to be bringing on a fabulous guest. He's a really good friend of mine. We've become closer. Him and his wife are fantastic. They're based out of San Diego. So Brett Davis has a show at our sister station in San Diego, AM 1170, AM 1170. His show's called Let's Talk with Brett Davis. And he's also a fitness expert, and a health expert like me. And he basically knows everybody in the fitness industry. Well, maybe I shouldn't say that, but he knows a lot of people, anywhere from Arnold Schwarzenegger to the average Joe in the gym. He's competed in the past, and he's actually competed currently too, which we'll get into with him. But he's been a very good mentor for me, getting me on the radio, really believing in me and pushing me to get to the place where I'm at now, just because he felt that I had enough knowledge to share with everyone, and he wanted me to do this, and I appreciate that. I want to bring on Brett. You on? Is he on? Okay, so we're working on getting him on. So, just want to let you guys know that I've had the pleasure of meeting people like Brett and bringing him onto my circle, because it's, what do they say? You are who you hang out with, or surround yourself with. And, he's somebody that has also done a lot of good work in San Diego and creating this type of environment where he's able to help a lot of people. He's got this program in LA where he helps teachers get recognized for their work. And with one of his great backers, they are giving awards every month to a new teacher for their great work in the California area. So for that, it's fantastic. Just want to say that, when it comes to this type of work, it's an honor and it's a privilege for us, and we take our work seriously. We want to make sure that whatever we do and whatever we say is correct. And, we want to help change lives and improve your health and well-being. Is Brett on the radio yet? Okay. So let's move on to the next topic. When it comes to our health and wellness, I always tell a lot of my clients it's a lifestyle change. And when you are looking at something that is debilitating, or you just got news that something has happened with your health, and you're feeling a bit crippled with it, just know that, there are solutions out there. You just need to talk to the right people. You need to educate yourself, find a way of finding that information and the group of people that can give you that right information. For example, a lot of my clients that, would train with me, a lot of them have, a background maybe in other things, and that's their specialty. But when they come to me, I try to educate them like as if they're a student in college and they're trying to get a degree. And when I start putting a program together, it's very detailed. I sit them down through a questionnaire which goes through their medical. And from their medical, it goes into their actual physical abilities. And I'm finding that as we're progressing in life, we have a lot of more issues when it comes to our muscle balance. And a lot of those muscle balance issues come from either the way that our posture is, the way that we sit, the way that we stand. It can be also other things that may come to, your job. Maybe past injuries that never healed and that you keep re-injuring without really understanding. So one thing that I got to say, I was talking with another mentor of mine, he's been in the fitness industry for 40 years. He said to me, as we get older, we don't work out as hard. And we shouldn't. Our format and the way that we train should change. Instead of doing heavy lifting, maybe we should be doing, something a little bit less. But when it comes to the structure integrity of our muscle and the way that our bodies move, we need to pay attention to what muscles are tight, what muscles are weak in the sense of how we move, and then describe that to a professional that can help put up new program for you. And just to let you guys know, I do have an online training program. It's on Be Fit for Health. If you're interested in getting personal training with me online because we all have to stay home, I can't put together a program for you. Personally, myself, I do have a nutritional program as well. Just so I can set something perfect for you. I do make you do a food journal for 3 days. I do ask you a lot of questions before I put something together because it's important. If there's some physician's clearance stuff that I need, I will speak with your doctors to make sure everything is good to go. But just to let you guys know, we're going to take a quick break. I want to, come back and hopefully we'll have Brett on the line. And then from there, we'll move on to our next guest, which I'm so excited to bring on because there's a lot of good information coming on. All right.
Free month of Netflix, free month of Hulu, free month of Honolulu Club. What? That's right. Sign up today at Honolulu Club, Hawaii's premier athletic, social, and business networking club. And they'll give you the month of May for free. Honolulu Club offers state-of-the-art fitness services with Honolulu's top trainers and amenities. It's time to get ready to look your best this summer. Log on to honoluluclub.com or call 585-9626 for more info. Honolulu Club, Hawaii's premier athletic, social, and business networking club. Sign up today.
And we're back. That was quick. And just wanted to say, listen, guys, when it comes to, personal training or anything like that, one size doesn't fit all. You have to find the right person. Yeah. And it has to become someone that is going to be there, to guide you in the personality range. So speaking of personal, trainers and all that good stuff, Brett, are you on?
I am.
Oh!
I'm calling all the way from San Diego because I want to hear. I'm so fascinated with everything you're saying on your show, and you're doing a great job.
Well, I appreciate it. I was just telling everybody you're one of my supporters and mentors, and I just wanted to say thank you publicly on my side. In Hawaii, I said it to you in California, but I wanted to say it in Hawaii. Thank you so much for supporting me. I appreciate your thoughts and your positive attitude.
Well, all the great things you're doing, it's very easy to support you because I see you touching the world, not just Hawaii.
Thank you very much. So, gosh, I was telling everybody that you know everybody when it came to the fitness and health industry. You've been around for a while, have you not?
Putting it that way, I guess I have.
Sorry.
Jack LaLanne was like, you've been around a long time. Jack LaLanne once told me, he said, Jack, what did everybody say when you started with this whole fitness thing in the old days? He says, what do you mean the old days? He said they used to laugh at him because they thought he was crazy. And I said, what do they say now? He said, I don't know, they're all dead. Everybody was criticizing they weren't taking care of their health like they were, of course, But and also Jack used to say, I have to take care of myself because it would be bad for business.
Right. You're the marketing, right? If you don't look good or you don't perform well, how can people believe what you have to say?
Absolutely. Would you go to a dentist that had really bad teeth?
No. That's amazing. So you actually know the icon, the person who actually created fitness as we know it. Yeah.
He was my mentor, and I learned a lot from him, and there's a lot of stories and a lot of things, and I interviewed his wife. I'll send you that interview. That was really quite something to go to the house, and shortly after he passed, to be able to go into areas where, he exercised every morning,
right.
Early, like 5 in the morning, and I got to see all this equipment that he developed that there was no patents on. And I mean, this stuff was made like in the 1940s, and if you looked at it, it looked like it was just created. It was brand new. It was so strong. It had a chrome silver look to it, and there wasn't a scratch on it. It was made to last. It was futuristic looking, and this was built in the 1940s.
Wow.
Cables, wow. A lot of cable apparatus. A lot of cables is what he did.
Yeah, what a unique individual. I mean, back then, who would have thought about, because no one was working out in the 1940s. I mean, everyone thought if you
No,
worked out, you were going to be crippled or something. I think they were going against him because he thought, what you're doing is not good for the body.
right. And I mean, as you know, which is what I like about your show is it's actually essential because it affects mind and body and soul.
Right. Yep. It's all connected.
It's not just it is. And at one time, I don't think it ever was thought that way. But with the research and everything that we know, I've always said nutrition and exercise are the best antidepressants you could take or do.
Well, yeah. I mean, now as we're learning more scientifically what the body goes through when we're exercising, the endorphins, stimulating all these neurotransmitters and all these good stuff that's happening in the brain. And, there is that mind-body connection. But, back then, it was just a hunch. So.
Right. They weren't really doing the research, were they?
No. I mean, what did they know back then? They didn't even know that much about nutrition either. So.
Right. Everybody thought it was just, but if you look back on it, and one of these times I'll find this book that Jack gave me from the 1940s, and they did research on animals and stuff with all the things that we're talking about today.
Yeah.
And they had lab tests. You could see what would happen to the rats. They would eat, like, for example, high fat, animal fat, not plant fat, and then compared to the animals that eat more fibrous carbohydrates and more vegetables and leaner proteins. And a lot of times these rats were smaller, and they were from the same litter. And, I mean, there was no reason for them to, they fed them this for a period of a year, and they had all kinds of health problems, the ones that didn't eat the way they were supposed to compared to the other ones. So this has been, in the 1940s, there was a lot of research done on nutrition more than any other time, I think.
Oh, that's crazy.
In history.
Wow.
But,
I didn't know that. So is it true? Well, what you're doing in San Diego with your show is you're a little bit more broader than I am. But you started out with nutritional. You owned a nutritional supplement store or online business, correct?
Yeah, I have actually. I'm reopening it up because I've had it for a while, but things happen. Sometimes you have to. We talked about this yesterday. You have to be careful who you align yourself with, and so I had a situation where a lot of what I developed, somebody was trying to steal it from me.
Oh.
So I had to go to court for a year to fight to get it back. And now that I've gotten it back, I'm going to unleash it again and bring it back. And so, yeah, I'm excited because it's things that I've been doing for years. And there's a new thing that we're coming out with. I'm going to call it Pro 10. And Pro 10 basically is 10 different proteins.
Wow.
Time release at different times. And so I've been sitting on that for a couple of years, and now we're going to release that. Pro 10's a good name too. I like it.
It does. It sounds good. So
I think we're going to do very well with it.
Are you going to be launching it online, or is it going to be like a store, or how are you going to do that?
I think we're going to launch it online, and then we'll drop ship to people's homes, and then we'll have contests, and we want to also have workshops around the world. We have guest speakers. Maybe you could even be a speaker at one of the events. That'd be great. We'd love to have you. I know you do very well, and we're very selective. So, you're the first person I've even asked.
Oh,
but I know
wow.
you do very well.
Thank you.
I don't know where we would do it. We could do it in San Diego. We could even do it in Hawaii, maybe.
Oh, that would be fabulous. Who wouldn't want to come to Hawaii?
Well, those are my two favorite cities, Hawaii and San Diego.
Because they're a lot alike.
And alike, but different. I think Hawaii, to me, is more healing.
Yes, it is. The area, think about it, we're in the middle of the ocean. The ions in the water, it's like all that therapeutic salt water is good for your body and your soul. So that's why a lot of surfers love going in that water, because it's just always healing for them.
Well, the people there are beautiful inside and out.
Absolutely.
Every time we go there, just so. I think there's a lot of those things that we're going to do with our supplement line and with our seminars. Is very similar to what you're doing with your show. That's why I think you'd be a great fit, and I think there's more people for you to reach out to that you can help. And I know your show's growing, and it's going to continue to grow because we need more people like you.
I appreciate that. Like you, I'm trying. I think I have so much compassion and love for people like you do that it bothers me when I see people hurt or struggling through their health ailments and they don't know what to do with it, and they just, that hopelessness feeling. It's depressing, and I don't want people to go through that. So, all I'm trying to do with my geeky moments in the beginning of the show is just give them some information, even if it's for like 8 minutes or 10 minutes, just to give them something I've done research on, and so they don't have to. Something. I feel like I'm doing something good. I'm giving back somehow. So, you and I have been blessed to be in an industry like the health and fitness industry, where we got to learn a lot and grow from that. And it's like natural for us. But other people, they're not around this kind of stuff. So,
right. You're absolutely right.
Yeah. So it's tough. But I know you're also trying to reach out to other people through a new program. You guys created your own podcast, correct?
Yeah, we we created our own studio. I mean, I have a radio show, but I don't own the station. And I thought, God, if I owned the station, I would run it completely in a different way. But I feel blessed to have the opportunity to work with our sister station, and they're great. But I think now people want fresh and new stuff all the time, and yesterday's news is old. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
They want new, updated, fresh things, and I mean, so I think with the studio, we're creating more shows and more varieties of things that I think people might be interested in, from relationships to to health and exercise, to psychology, spirituality, cooking.
Oh, it sounds exciting.
It's called IQ. We call it IQ Podcast.
How can they find you?
People.
How can they look you up?
IQ Podcast with an S at the end, then .com.
Okay.
IQ Podcast, and so we got a basic website up on that, but we're downloading the shows. We're on every major site now. The only one we're waiting to get on is iHeart, but I think that'll happen because I already have some shows that are already on iHeart. There's the last show that was on iHeart was when I interviewed a guy you might know who his name is, Dolph Lundgren.
Oh, wow.
Dolph was a good interview, very fascinating. Have you heard that interview before?
No, I want to look it up now.
I'm gonna send you, if you can't find it, I'll send you a copy. But we're taking all that stuff out of the archives, and so a lot of those things that we talk about are how people build something, start from the bottom, succeed, and a lot of times we fail. The human spirit helps us get up, and then we continue to fight and try to progress and try to do our best every day. And I think people love those stories because they think everybody can relate to something where maybe they're trying and they're struggling and maybe they're losing hope, and maybe when they hear another story, it inspires them.
Oh, that's
to not give up.
That's awesome. I love this.
And it's very.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, it's what you're doing. I mean, it's the same thing. I mean, we're trying to give people a hand up, not a handout, a hand up, not a handout.
Yeah, we want to push people up, not just help them. We want to give them that empowerment and be able to do what they need to do. So, listen, we're kind of running out of time. I'm sorry. I want to bring you back on. Would you be able to come back on again and give us an update on what's going on with you?
Only if I could come on your show once a month, and you can come on mine once a month, and then that way we can work together. That's one way to start, and I know we're going to work on some other projects. I have a feeling.
Oh, I'm so excited. Thank you so much. I mean, listen.
Thank you for having me on your show. I'm honored.
Oh my gosh. No, I just want to say I'm thrilled to have you because this audience doesn't know who you are, but you are somebody in this industry, and to have someone like you on my show is a big deal. So thank you so very much. And I'm going to try to do my best to inform people how to find you and listen to your shows as well, because I think your education is phenomenal.
Well, I think yours is too, and I look forward to working with you, Bianca.
That's awesome. Well, listen, Brett, I'm gonna say goodbye to you today, and we'll catch up again later and regroup. How's that?
Amazing and awesome. I look forward to it.
All right, Brett, take care of yourself. All right, everyone, we'll be back. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back with Anthony.
Have you heard of microcurrent therapy? If you suffer from chronic pain, arthritis, sports injuries, ligament injuries, or migraines, the electroequiscope can help. This non-invasive treatment system is drug-free and shows no negative side effects. If you are seeking pain relief and want to boost your immune system, schedule a demonstration or consultation by calling Kelly, your microcurrent electrotoxologist, at 485-9697 or follow on Instagram at Kelly's Time. Make your appointment today.
And we're back. Oh my gosh, that last interview was amazing. Brett Davis, thank you so much. So now we got the main course here, Anthony Chrisco. He is phenomenal. You guys, I'm so lucky to have such two great men on this show. Anthony is the founder of the Fascia Research Society, and he co-authored a book with his wife called Pain Free Every Day. This gentleman this guy knows everything that you need to know about the fascia system. I mean, he created a company called the Fascianator. It's also a product that you use. It does self-myofascial release. It's a roller, and basically it's not a foam roller. He'll tell you that, but it's definitely, it helps your body. It helps your body get rid of all the toxins and bring in fresh fluid into the muscle and to the fascia. He's got a BS in physical education. This guy is too smart to be on the show, but he's on the show. Anthony, are you there?
Yes, so I'm here.
Oh, yay. How are you?
I'm great. I bet you say that to all your guests.
Oh, no, I don't. Trust me. So I know you had to call in today because of our mandate. I would have loved to have had you here physically because your energy is so potent. It's wonderful. I mean, it's just fantastic. But I can still feel you through that call. So, I know you've been a trainer for a very long time, for at least 25 years. And you've done physical therapy, a rehab of sorts, as you train people. You have that background, correct?
Yes, I do.
So your knowledge is not just with, what we were just talking about, the fascia, but also about the muscular system, about the skeletal system, how things work and move. So I know a lot of people are going to be looking at this or listening to this show and saying, what is she talking about, the fascia? What is a fascia?
The fascia is a connective tissue. You might know it like, for those of you that like to eat meat, you ever pull the different pieces of meat apart and you see that clear stuff? It looks like spider webs. That's your fascia. And in our bodies, it wraps everything everywhere, all 80 trillion cells, all 260 bones, all 640 muscles, all of your 45 miles of nerves,
wow.
60,000 miles of blood vessels, everything, everywhere. It is intimately involved with everything in your body, every cellular function, everything.
What's the purpose of the connective tissue?
Well, my wife will tell you, and she's a cell biologist who worked with the 2009 Nobel Prize winner for medicine.
Wow.
She'll tell you that the fascia is like the surveillance system. It is the communication network of the body. In the scientific term, it's known as what do they call it? Basically, it's how all cells communicate to each other. So if you think about your fascia, you think about you have all these cells. How do the cells talk to each other? What's their fiber optic network, if you will? It's these fascial cells. They're called there's fasciocytes. There's also fibroblasts, and these cells produce chemicals and slippery agents and cellular communication things called cytokines. There's also it goes all the way down to the molecule. So, for example, if my big toe hurts, is my big toe what is the problem, or could it be related to an old knee injury I had 20 years ago?
Ah.
Right,
Gotcha.
and the answer is the latter answer. And you don't know how many times in person people come to me and say, Anthony, my elbow, I've had this pain for 3 years. And I say, here, let me show you something. And we roll out the specific areas around that elbow joint, and guess what? Magically disappears.
Whoa, really?
The pain they've had for 3 years, or they were getting cortisone shots every 6 months.
So do you think it was toxic buildup in that area that you basically helped remove, or what do you think that was?
No, it is when you have tight muscles, right? Mm-hmm. Muscles attach across joints via the tendons. Now, if my muscles are tight, your muscle is not going to ache. You're going to have pain where the muscle is constantly tugging on its bony attachment, i.e. tendinitis. It's an inflammation of the fascia where that tendon is pulling on the bone. And yes, all of your bones have fascia. You might have heard of it as, what do they call that stuff? See, everything for me is now fascia, but it's periosteum means the tissue on the top of the bone. That's your fascia on top of the bone.
Wow. I thought that was, I thought it was either tendons or ligaments on the ligaments on the bone.
Well, ligaments connect bone to bone. Tendons connect muscle to bone.
Right.
but the tendons and ligaments fall under the fascial system. And if you really look at cadaver dissection, like I'm on the Fascial Net Plastination project as well. It's an international project that's going on in Germany. We dissect cadavers down to the fascial layers, and it's not like your anatomy books, these two-dimensional images that say a muscle becomes a tendon that attaches to the bone. Well, where do you differentiate the fascia from the muscle into the tendon into the bone? You cannot separate it. They are all encompassing.
Wow.
But that's what our whole project was, is how can we dissect the body and preserve it in a way that you can see the fascial connections, the fascial orientations. And we just actually put our first public displays on at the Body World exhibit in Berlin.
So you guys are the ones who put that together.
I'm a small part of one of the team members, and we're all members of the Fascia Research Society. But my wife and I, we're founding members of the Fascia Research Society,
wow, that's crazy.
Which was established in 2012, and it's only 263 founding members in the world.
And from what I understand, the medical community finally acknowledged the fascia as to being an organ, a part of our body system. Correct?
Yep. Dr. Neil Thies, he's a cell doctor. He does histology and things. He discovered in all of his working with humans at the cellular level that there was this space in between all these cells. Now, he calls it the interstitium, and it has its own merits, but it's basically what we've been talking about for years. It's the fascia. It's the stuff that's been overlooked for hundreds of years by Western medicine.
Now, has Eastern medicine, like Chinese medicine, known about the fascia?
Oh, yeah. Acupuncture, guess what? 4,000 years old.
Yeah.
Guess what? Your meridian system, if you overlay the meridians over the fascial lines, guess what?
Got it. So if you're manipulating the spleen 6, which is by your close to your ankle, you're also stimulating other parts of your body because it's all connected through the fascial system. So does the fascial system have like nerves and contractibility? Does it have blood vessels and things like that as well, like the muscle?
Great question. Your fascia has everything in higher amounts than all the other body parts combined. I'll give you an example. Let's just talk sensory receptors. And now these sensations could be touch, could be heat, could be ache, could be motion, could be tension, could be rate of contraction. There's about 6 to 10 times more sensory receptors in your fascia compared to your muscles.
So
and I'll give you an example. There's 250 million sensory receptors in your fascia. It's more densely populated than the retina, which until the fascia was determined to be the most neurologically active tissue in the body, we thought the retina had the most. But the fascia took over. And that's brand new information. I just picked that up in January when I was in Berlin.
Oh, wow. So does that mean that everything that we touch is related because of the fascia?
Yep. And I'll give you an example, okay? You know when you go to the doctor and they do the patellar reflex with the little rubber hammer, they hit your kneecap and the foot kicks. Okay, that speed of contraction of which that signal travels from the leg to the brain and back to the foot is about 150 miles an hour. Okay? Your fascia responds at about 600 miles per hour.
Wow.
So I'll give you an example. If you ever hear someone throws a firecracker and it goes boom, and your body curls forward in a flexion type action that is out of your control. True or false?
I don't know. True?
Right? I'll have to come scare you tomorrow and so it's a flexion. The body flexes. Or like when a dog gets scared or a cat gets scared, they flex, right?
Right.
That speed happens at 600 miles an hour. And it's involuntary. Your fascia is the most fast-responding organ in your body.
So my question, though, is that from what I understand about the fascia, that it doesn't contract as fast as a muscle because it doesn't have, sorry guys, I'm going to get geeked out. It doesn't have like the actin and myosin that you have that cross bridges for you to get a contraction. It's missing one of those.
Well, you're talking about muscular contraction, okay? Your fascia, it can respond fast, but it responds to our stimulus if we approach it at a slower level. So that's the question you were trying to get to.
Yes.
It does have contractile properties, and how much, I'll tell you, over time, when you have these chronic overuse situations, either sitting in traffic, sitting at a desk, or just being sedentary, the fascia has been measured to apply about 2,000 pounds of pressure per square inch on your pain-sensitive structures.
Wow.
Okay, so for example, when you're taking members at the club through their orientation, have you ever had someone so tight and so sensitive to touch that they're like, careful, I'm sensitive, don't touch me. Right? They're so tight, all of their pain receptors in their muscles, nerves, and fascia are at high alert, screaming. Right?
Right.
And it's only after they start warming up slowly that they start to feel better. And the reason is when we apply the right pressure, the right stimulus to the right places in the fascia, yes, the brain can then send an automatic neuromuscular response to the muscle spindles that live in that area.
Right.
Muscle spindles will control contraction.
Right.
And it tells that muscle spindle, hey, you're all uptight, but you're not going anywhere. Relax for a second.
Right.
And that's what happens. And you've experienced it yourself. So
yeah,
I'm on the call.
Yeah, well, you know what? You don't know this, but I was a medical massage therapist for a while, and obviously trigger point is one of those types of modalities too, that when you apply a certain amount of pressure, it sends that signal, like you said, to the brain and relaxes that muscle, so then you can do your other type of techniques. But so that's taking us to what you created, which was the Fascianator. So
yeah,
how does that, that's how it works, right? You use the Fascianator to help people loosen up enough and get the signals correct to the brain so that the brain relaxes the body.
That's exactly right. And what this process does, the hallmark of our methodology is, number one, we've reinforced the full body, the full body, the full body. So it's not like you go to the doctor and say, doctor, you point to your knee, my knee hurts. And he says, okay, give you a cortisone shot. Oh, it didn't work? Okay, let's give you an x-ray. Oh, there's nothing there. How about an MRI? Oh, it's inconclusive. How about we go in for a surgery? No. What we do, we address the whole body. We roll out about 52 areas in about an hour. And it's over the course of months, not hours, that people see changes. For example, we had people who could barely walk up the stairs at our club. And after they take the class, they walk up and down the stairs with no pain, right? And doesn't happen in one class, right?
Right.
That's not what we're talking about. We're
Right.
talking about instituting a lifestyle change and including this methodology, the fascination method, into your lifestyle, at which point you'll notice, hey, I'm not falling down as much. My joints aren't cracking. I can turn my head when I'm driving my car. I can put on my underwear.
Well, I think
those are the things.
You're creating a new pattern, right? And that takes the time. So you're teaching the body to be a certain way instead of it being the way it was for 30 years. You're trying to teach it to become this new system. So that does take time. The body doesn't some things do happen immediately, but it depends on how chronic a person is. So I guess for you, just like with massage or personal training or what have you, in order to get the person back into alignment, it does take habitual time. You have to keep doing it so that the body will go back to its old ways initially, right? Like after the first session or 2 sessions or 3 sessions, it'll go back to what it was before, but eventually it'll start to stick a little bit longer to the new way.
Yes, we have two different ways to describe it. The first thing is we are trying to restructure the fascial architecture, and that means minimizing the imbalances from top to bottom, left to right, front to back. So think about your own situation. What if I was able to teach you how to neutralize your pelvic tilts, your forward head, your protracted shoulder girdles? Well, number one, you'd be a little taller. Your clothes would fit better. Your posture would look better. You'd breathe a little deeper. You'd poop a little better. You'd sleep longer. Those are the things that happen with our methodology. The second part is when you do reduce the chronic tension on those pain receptors, then those chronic pain situations slowly disappear. You don't have to take the pain pills and the sleeping pills and the muscle relaxers. So you're right on both counts.
Yeah, it's funny how our body works. It's so resilient and so incredibly powerful and smart. And then there's these parts of the body that just is so damn stubborn that it doesn't want to do what we want it to do. And unfortunately, we have to be patient and kind of coach it along. And I think your classes are quite popular. I think you've got several classes going on all around Honolulu. I know that you have a few classes at the Honolulu Club, but you also have your right now you're doing online classes, right, for the people that are needing it?
Yes, we're doing virtual Fascianator classes via Zoom. It's been a great tool. We've actually done some classes in Kuwait, India, Thailand, Malaysia, Taiwan, Philippines, and of course we have our local groups here in Hawaii. And I got to tell you, it's more than just rolling them out. We are providing a sense of community for our kapuna, which is huge out here.
Right. I mean, that's true, because the thing about it is you get older, things get harder and stiffer when it comes to the tissue. Now, I remember hearing that, the fascia is composed of mostly water, correct?
Yeah, the fascia is made of collagen and water. And it's about 4 gallons of water lives in your fascia. 4 gallons. Wow.
Do we have to drink that much?
That's what people think. Unfortunately, most people who are running around this place dehydrated anyways. You know that from being in the gym. They're always, I drink water. Isn't this enough? No, it's not enough. So if you're listening, grab a pen, write this down.
Water.
I need to drink half my body weight in ounces every day, and that's if you're just sitting there doing nothing. Kind of like basal metabolic rate.
Wow.
Right?
Yeah.
You need to drink, and if you're not drinking half your body weight in ounces, but you're running 5 miles a day and doing CrossFit and this, that, and the other, well, then you're only hurting yourself more. That's why so many people in these boot camp classes end up having frozen shoulder, corn rotator cuffs, bulging discs, the whole 9 yards, because they're beating it up and they're not putting it back together.
Well, what they're doing is they're stressing out their system, and we were talking about in my past shows that the fight or flight program takes over, and the fight or flight program isn't healing. And what you're trying to do is heal areas of the body through. When I say healing, I'm like repair.
Exactly.
And you can't repair if you're in fight or flight. So. People need to understand there's a combination of things. When you work out, you stress your system, but if you're not hydrated too, that's going to really cause the opposite effect of what, you're trying to do, right, Anthony? It's like you need that hydration to help things along.
Absolutely. You think about it this way. Here's a good analogy, and I'm known for my good, gross analogies.
Keep
Here's
it clean.
what I'd like you to do. I'll do my best. Measure the amount of water you drink in one day. Put it in a bucket. Okay? Now, next time you go number 2, I want you to take that bucket of water and try to flush down your waste through the toilet by dumping that bucket into the toilet. It'll work if you drank enough.
Right.
But think about it in your body. If you're not drinking enough, are you getting rid of the waste that's trapped in your colon? Probably not.
Yeah, and that's another thing too. When you don't eliminate your waste, you're basically leaving it for a toxic load, which is also what happens is that your body starts going into becoming more deficient. So everything that you're trying to do isn't going to be successful. So it's funny as an instructor and creator of this formality, your struggles are trying to teach people that lifestyle, right? Trying to educate them to basic fundamentals: drink water, sleep, move, all these things. And it's tough because people don't want to give up their habits and patterns.
Oh, listen to this. I have people like, Anthony, I've been taking this boot camp class 5 days a week for 5 years. How come I can't put my hand over my head? Yeah. How about you go 3 times a week, take my class 2 times a week, everything will get better. And guess what? Everything got better.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's amazing. From my perspective, Anthony, you gave me that 1 hour one-on-one, which was in such an education for me. But I think because I had so much stuff in my body that I had to get rid of. Like your typical client, I didn't pay attention to how much hydration I needed to take in. I probably needed to take in more than the average person just because of how much probably toxins I may have had in my system. Because fibromyalgia, you automatically have a lot more toxins than most people just because it's an autoimmune issue. I was really sore. Like I felt, wow, like I was drained. And when I talked to you, you're like, drink water. I'm like, okay. Which made sense. But, yeah, I mean, guys, this is no joke. I mean, he's going around all over the world. Yeah. You're lecturing in different places and educating even medical doctors on this stuff. And they're even impressed with it seems simple, something as simple as a Fascianator, this hard, round, circular, product that you roll on can do so much benefits to the body that now you guys are understanding how important the fascia, the connective tissue is in the system. So you and your wife wrote a book called Pain Free Every Day. Can you give us a little quick summary on that and where we can find that book?
First summary, the book came about because Eileen, in all of her years of cellular biology and breast cancer research and doing other cell projects with the military for biotoxins, believe it or not. She saw me doing this Fascianator thing, and I'd come home every day. Hey, so-and-so canceled their surgery. Hey, so-and-so is walking better. Blah, 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 blah. She's like, there must be something going on there. Because back in 2012, when this was happening, I was like, why are people getting better? I don't know, but I'm going to keep going. And she started looking at some of her cells, and she did her own little project where she didn't change the nutrient media out of her petri dish. That's basically, she didn't change their garbage, and she watched these cells stiffen, change shape, and mutate. And she's like, I think I figured out why your people are getting better. Because when you roll them, you're neutralizing all the tension, you're getting rid of the garbage, and the body is in a better state of healing versus, like you said, Bianca, that fight or flight, which tends towards inflammation.
Right.
Right?
Right.
So it was at that point, in the book, she talks about our story, how it all happened, how we met when we were 9 years old. And she ignored me all the way until through high school. And then
Smart girl.
After college, I got her, and she goes, hey, you want to come to the lab with me? You can mince this breast tissue. So I was helping her with her breast cancer research, and her goal there was to try to make cancer happen in healthy breast tissue, and she did.
Wow.
By manipulating the external environment of those cells. Okay? And that's the gist of the story. But then she goes into, well, what is fascia? How does it respond physiologically? What are the pathophysiologies that can happen, or what goes wrong with bad fascia? And some other strategies like meditation, yoga, mindfulness, and basically self-care. It says, how do you take care of yourself using the Fascianator? And then she goes play by play in extreme detail of every part of the body, what you should think about when you're doing it, why you should be doing it, to help reiterate and reinforce this change in your behavior. And that's our book. And it's available on Amazon.com, Target.com, Walmart.com, as well as Audible for those of you that like audiobooks, Audible.com. And you can get it on our website, thefascianator.com.
Okay, I need to spell that. It's the Fascianator.com. So Fascianator.com. So thefascianator.com. Yeah, it's people may spell that wrong.
Oh yeah.
But
just type in Anthony Chrisco and you'll find it.
Well,
Fascianator.
I will definitely post it again on my IG and my Facebook, and I'll definitely put it on my YouTube as well as we'll have this played again. We'll have an MP3 on my website as well, so people can listen to it again and again to be able to reach out to you. So what's another great way for them to reach out to you? Is there like a phone number they can call you, or is there like another way to reach out to you that besides the website?
You can You can email us, thefascianator@gmail.com. I have a Facebook page, The Fascianator. And guess what my Instagram is? The Fascianator. And let me give you a phone number. If you're interested, give me a call, 808-227-6221.
Wow. You're like basically everywhere. I had no idea you were so international.
Yeah, well, I was supposed to go to the Philippines and Israel on March 15th. But of course, everything got shut down.
Right.
So we figured out, how can we continue to do our trainings and classes virtually? So that gave us, we had 2 weeks in the trenches with our students in Israel, the Philippines, Kuwait, India. And I got to tell you, these are now instructors. The coolest part for me is I followed up with these instructors. I'm like, so how did your rolling classes go? Because they're still seeing some clients in India. Let's just say India has bigger bowel movements now.
You know, I know that people are going to be, why do they keep talking about eliminating their waste? Listen, guys, if you don't have a good working system, especially that part of your body, I got to tell you, you're going to have a lot of other problems creeping up at you. So that part is kind of important. When I was working at a supplement health store, the first thing that I used to ask people was, how is your elimination going? And people would look at me like I'm strange. I'm like, it's kind of important, because if you're not losing weight and you're having a hard time with some health issues, it could be because you're not able to eliminate the toxins. And that's kind of important. And your whole thing with the Fascianator is getting rid of the old stagnant fluid from the fascia and allowing the new nutritious fluid back into the system so that the body is healing.
Well, I'll tell you one story about, I work with a lot of cancer. Okay. I have 5 women last year, one of which who had positive mammograms and biopsies for 10 years in a row. Okay. So every year she's afraid she's going to get breast cancer, right? Well, after 8 months of using the Fascianator in a regular class, her 11th year of her mammogram came back negative.
Oh, wow.
And there's 4 other women just like her who have negative mammograms after about a year of rolling. Before that, there was year after year after year of follow-up biopsies. And I was at Harvard in 2015 at the first joint conference on fascia and cancer. And the number one takeaway there is stiff fascia is where cancer cells migrate to and start growing in your body. So
wow.
If you have stiff fascia in your underarms, in your prostate, in between your legs, you better get busy.
Oh, yeah, no kidding.
Cancer migrates to stiff fascia.
Well, it also migrates to where things are not clean. So, there's free radicals. There's all sorts of stuff that's just floating around. So that makes sense.
Right. So I wonder if there's a correlation. It's stiff and filthy, and you get cancer there. Huh.
Yeah. Yep. Listen, I'm very grateful to you, Anthony, for giving us this education because, listen, like I was telling everyone, if you don't know what's out there until someone tells you, and, you have a following, but then, there's a lot of people here that don't know you exist. And, I'm hoping that this gives them an opportunity to have another roadway to their health so they can follow you and learn more. I mean, this isn't a rocket science, but to some people it might be. And I hope they partner up with you and they find your Facebook, and maybe they can follow with the classes that you're doing online. And,
yep.
Go from there. But you're located also at the club that I'm at with the Honolulu Club, and you've got classes there. So, you guys can reach out to us there as well.
Yep, and I have a ton of educational videos and testimonials
fabulous.
On our YouTube channel.
Nice.
And guess what it's called?
The Fascianator.
Fascianator.
Well, Anthony, we unfortunately, I wish we could talk more. Can you come back if I invite you?
Of course.
Oh, great. I'm excited. Maybe next time we bring you, you'll be able to sit across from me and we can actually have more of a party in the studio.
Oh, we're going to have a party.
Yes.
Sure.
And we'll bring your wife too so she can chime in and give us the dirt on you.
I'd love to.
That's awesome. Well, Thanks, man. I appreciate it. You're the best, and I wish you all the best luck, and I look forward to seeing you soon.
You keep doing what you're doing. You're making a difference. I appreciate you.
I appreciate you, too. Thank you so much, hon.
All right, girl. Thank you.
Okay, bye-bye. So, everyone, just wanted to finish up here. Thank you for listening to the show today. If you have any questions, you can reach me at befitforhealth.com or on my Instagram, b.bfitforhealth, and my Facebook, Fit for Health. So, another great show. Looking forward to seeing you guys next week. Take care of yourselves. Take care of your health. Aloha.
Attention, service members, veterans, and military families. Whether you're planning to rank up or transition out, there's a reason to consider post-university.